Hey everybody, I'm Garcia, and today we're all going to be guards working together at an amusement park of sorts, trying to keep our jobs in Monkey Temple. Like I said, in this game, the players are going to be working together, and there's a problem at the Monkey Temple. That is, the monkeys keep stealing things from the attendants. And so the players are going to have to, together, figure out what got stolen from whom. And they're going to be assigning those things to random attendants, and while the other players at the table guess what it is that was stolen and from whom. And then that role of being the one who assigns those things will rotate around the table. Let me go ahead and give you a look at what I'm talking about here. We'll come on back after that, and I'll tell you if I think it's a good party game. The game's going to be played over 5 rounds, though the players may choose to play more of them to increase the difficulty, and they're going to cooperate together in order to make sure that the guardians of the temple keep their jobs. And so the way it works is one player is going to be the monkey for the first round. That'll be me right now. And then let's say we have 3 other players around the board. The one right after me gets this token here. And these other monkey tokens are just going to be set aside for now. Now I'll go ahead and reveal 4 items up here. And then I'll reveal 4 characters below that. So these 4 characters here. Once this is done, I, the monkey player, I'm going to shuffle up these tokens and draw them one at a time and assign them to the characters, okay? So for example, I draw one, I'm not showing this to any of the other players, of course, and it has a 1 on it, which is this item right here. And now I have to figure out who I think this item belongs to, and the monkey stole it from that person. So it looks to me like a watering can there. And I'm going to go with, the snowman might be a funny bit with the watering can. So I'm going to do that. Then I draw the next one, and this is the blank one. These tokens, there are 5, like I said, have the numbers 1 through 4, and a blank one. Now, there are only 4 things here, but I have to assign all 5 items. So the 5th one of the 5 at some point, has to go to one of the 3 players around the table that I think either that thing matches them better than the characters, or maybe they'll get the blank one because I'm happy with these things being, matches. So I have to figure out who's not going to get one here. So, for example, in my head right now, I might be thinking, okay, well, that guy's looking a little evil. He's probably carrying poison around. And that guy looks like he's selling some sort of miracle cure, so he's going to be getting whatever this tube is. Some snake oil there. That leaves me with this one here, and I don't necessarily think that's a good fit for that one. However, one of my players around the table here, Susan over here, is a theater practitioner, and she enjoys especially, Greek tragedies and so forth. So the column might be going to her, okay? So the blank one then is going to go on this character here. Then I'll draw the next one. It's the 4. I'm going to put it in front of Susan there. I'll draw the next one. It's the 2. I'm going to give it to this guy. And then the last one is a 3, and I'm going to give it to this guy. And again, all of this has to be done quietly so the other players don't know which matches I'm making. Once this is done, we go to the second part of the round in which the players are all going to discuss and assign all of these to what they think, is going to pan out here. So, for example, they might say, well, this guy looks like an outdoorsman here, so he's maybe got the watering can, he's going to get the 1. And the 2 is this stuff, and it's maybe this guy, and the 3 poison, that's going to go to that guy for sure. And then the 4 is a column. Maybe the snowman is built around a column to give him some support. So that's going to go to him, all right? Once that's done, then we are going to reveal these and see which ones are right. So the snowman got the 1. This player is correct. This is wrong. This is wrong, all right? Every card that is assigned up here and the players guessed erroneously is going to go in our penalty pile. So 1's in the wrong spot. Nobody guessed that. And 2 here was correct. 3 was correct. And 4 was not. And that's it for that round. And then these are discarded. These are going to be discarded. We are going to collect these tokens up again. We're going to shuffle them up, give them to the next player. This moves once again. We're going to pile these up and set them aside. We go to the second round, and we once again do that with this player revealing 4 things that got stolen and 4 characters down here that they're going to assign those things to. They'll shuffle them up, and they'll go through that same round structure that I just showed you, okay? The game's going to be over either when we've finished all 5 rounds. That means all the players were successful and we've managed to keep our jobs as guards at the Monkey Temple, or if 9 cards pile up and the mistakes pile over here, that means too many customers were upset, and so we are all going to get fired. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Very simple game, kind of a silly conversational piece. So let's go back up top and let me tell you what I think of it. So there you go, that is Monkey Temple. I tend to enjoy these kinds of silly party games that are going to lead to a fun amount of discussion, double guessing, getting in people's heads, that sort of thing. And this one, in that realm, does not disappoint. I really had a good time with this. It's silly, it's bright, it's cartoony. I enjoyed it a lot, so let's go ahead and break it down. But I will say right off the bat, I like pretty much every aspect of this. Some more than others, certainly, but this gets positives up and down the target player audience system that I use here. So throw them up and let me break it down a little bit. So theme, it's cute, it's ridiculous, cartoony, I like it. The aesthetics, I like the artwork, I like the component quality, it's very well done, well produced. The cards are not the highest quality cards I've ever seen, but they work well for this. The printing's good on them, they're bright and vibrant, and I like the overall sort of vibe and aesthetic that they've gone with here. So I enjoy that. Replayability. Lots of combinations, so that's good. But you've also got the players sitting around the table, and that's going to change from game to game possibly, which means lots more combinations, right? So replayability stays high for something that in which the theme and the gameplay really is a one-trick pony. This is a one-gimmick game, and yet the replayability is high, so that's good. The ease of play, yes, absolutely, very high. There's just not a lot of steps to figure out here, while allowing for good talking, by the way, which is a plus for me in party games. And then lastly, tactics and strategy and all of that, luck, yes. It's a silly game. I think the amount of tactics in the game is appropriate for what the game is. I like, for example, that the tokens, you don't get all of them and then assign them. That might give hints to the other players of the table. I like having to shuffle them and draw one at a time and then think about what you're going to do. Then assigning it, draw the next one, and so on. You cannot decide when the blank one comes up, for example, which, if you just drew them all, I could probably deduce that the blank one goes out last from your hand. You figure out your matches, and whoever or whichever gets the blank one at the end. So I like that. I also like that this game finds a balance between those games in which the players are the object of the party, sometimes the target, let's call it, of the sort of silliness at the center of the game, and those in which caricatures and silly illustrations and so forth are the target of that comedy, okay? I think there's a nice balance here between those two things. It's not quite as some people find, for example, Unusual Suspects does too much of that caricature targeting sort of thing. And then there's other games on the other side of that, things like there's this old game called Imagine If, which was all about the players around the table. Who would do this thing? And then you vote on who around the table would be that person. This one manages to mix the both. You can choose to bring somebody into the game and give them a thing. Or you can choose to make it all about the characters. For that one round, nothing really applies. You can choose to make it about, nobody else at the table, just the characters. That's a solid mix, and it's really clever. I really like that. Though certainly for a fun variant, especially with good friends, you could play where it is just the 4 items and no characters, just give out those tokens to the players at the table and have them figure out who you would give what to and who got the blank one. That's neat. And if that gets too easy, you can increase the difficulty with more rounds. So again, there's a lot of play room here. So there you go. That is Monkey Temple. You know what? This is going to get a seal of approval from me because I just had a good time with it. It's silly. It's fun. I enjoyed it. Good party game. So that's it for me. Monkey Temple, thumbs up. I'm Z Garcia, everybody. I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com.